So it was a collaborative effort, but they really led the charge in making the content and then making sure that it got to the right people and that the leads that are coming in, and we're getting so many more leads now that are better qualified than they ever were, and they're coming from everywhere. Something's working. My name is Jason Cohen. I'm the CEO of Mission Control, Knock and Help Desk. Mission Control Knock and Help Desk is a fully white labeled, 24/7 and fully integrated service exclusively and dedicated to MSPs. Our entire job is to help an MSP grow and scale, and we do that by acting as a technical extension of an MSP's technical team in servicing their customers. I was actually referred to TRIdigital. Initially, I was actually referred to GlassHive as a way to automate my marketing approach. And obviously through the relationship with GlassHive and TRIdigital, got introduced to that because we needed content creation. That was something that we really didn't have a lot of material or things to send out. So it's not just about the automation of sending it out, but of what to send out. We just didn't have that, and I was told TRIdigital could help. TRIdigital was one of the companies that we were interviewing, and the truth is that the other companies we spoke to, it didn't have a warm feel when we were having those conversations. Very much felt templated and more off the rack, so to speak. All the conversations with TRIdigital felt unique, and they felt like we were being treated as something different than every other customer. The approach was specific to what we wanted, and they clearly had the experience in the MSP channel, in the MSP industry. They understood what we were trying to do. That difference made a huge efficiency increase in getting the process started, as well as getting material developed down the road. As the CEO of a fast-growing company, and we are a fast-growing company, I recognize that there are two things that I'm after when dealing with any sort of relationship. I need results, and I need somebody or a group of people to go to when I need something. The results are going to speak for themselves. We've had amazing success so far with TRIdigital. I can't say enough about how far they've taken us in such a short amount of time. And when it comes to the team, I've got emails, I've got calls, I've got ways to be able to reach people in the TRIdigital team to be able to get things done, make adjustments, pivot, turn quickly. That's huge for me, because if we even go down a direction that I'm guiding and we need to change things quickly, having those resources that can do things quickly and can give me responses and reactions and see results then later, massive. When I think of marketing and getting success from outbound marketing, obviously we're talking about getting more leads, getting more deals closed. The quality of those leads is important, but you're only going to be able to close deals if your material is good and enticing and get somebody to click or do an action, right? I think that for us, what we've seen in the short amount of time we worked with TRIdigital is they get it, they understand the MSP channel and what we're trying to do. They are really good at making sure that the content is appropriate, targeting the right people, it's going out at the right time. And again, we didn't have any of this process really ahead of time in meeting TRIdigital, and we certainly didn't have the content. So it was a collaborative effort, but they really led the charge in making the content and then making sure that it got to the right people and that the leads that are coming in, and we're getting so many more leads now that are better qualified than they ever were, and they're coming from everywhere. Something's working. We've got a few different services with TRIdigital. The first that comes to mind is SEO, and to be honest, I didn't give it much value, not just to TRIdigital, but in general. I didn't give SEO much value, but their team took our website from what it was to where it is today. It is mind-blowing how much more effective the pages work and the way that they're able to keep users and visitors and get them to submit forms, and now we have tracking on all of it. That part's huge for us. So SEO, massive. We also have them obviously generating content. And the content that they're doing is both on the social side, is both through email blasts, it's through various different ways, and the way that they integrate it also with the timing of the outbound, it all works very, very well. Again, we're getting more leads than we've ever gotten before, but what's crazy is that they're coming from all different types of places. But those are all little different initiatives that they've done as a part of the services that we're getting. When we first got started, what was interesting was TRIdigital actually put together a plan. And it had a plan from, it was different for the first couple of months than it is for the next couple of months and so forth. And they had to do things in order to get things done the right way. And I have to tell you, I was not overly joyous about that because it felt like it was going to be a prolonged thing. But the truth is, it's very strategic. And I was surprised how strategic it is. They did SEO first because it's going to build on the next thing, and the next thing is going to build on the next thing. And when I first heard about that, I wasn't all into it. But now that I'm seeing the results, I can really see they know what they're doing and they've got a really good plan for me. And that's super important for me. Just like any other relationship, communication's key. I feel like early on, there were things that they needed from us that they weren't getting. And TRIdigital would reach out to us. They would literally reach out by email. I'd get a call or a text, Jason, this isn't happening and we need this to be able to proceed. I didn't feel like they were bothering me. I certainly didn't feel like they were avoiding the reach out. They were proactive, they reached out, they got things that they needed efficiently so that we could all move on and continue. And that was huge. It also was reciprocal because I knew that I could reach out to them if I needed something. And they were very interested in representing us the way that we wanted to be heard to the MSP industry. And again, they knew the MSP industry, so they knew what we did, but they were everything even down to the different fonts that we would use, the different colors, they needed to have those things. They had interviews with us to understand what we did. And it wasn't one call, it was several to really understand what the message had to be that had to go out, what we had in place, what we didn't have in place, what we didn't want to say, who we compete with. They wanted to know all of those things. And again, it wasn't like fill out a form. These were calls, conversations, Q&A, and there's a lot of confidence that comes out of the results of those conversations. So, again, I always keep in mind that relationships are driven on success. Everyone's got to be happy. It's got to be a win-win. So far, I'm thrilled. I feel like the future, so long as things continue to go the right way, they're putting their best foot forward. We are seeing results. And again, I'm a results guy. As long as we're seeing things continue, I have the expectation that we will be a relationship client for years to come with TRIdigital. TRIdigital is part of our team. I mean, ultimately, I have joking conversations for half of the calls that we're talking about marketing stuff when we're on these calls. We have weekly cadence calls, we have specific material calls, a bunch of emails. But the truth of the matter is, regardless of the relationship, I know that they're standing behind what they're promising, and I know that they'll be there to work through issues, and I know that they have good intentions of what they want to offer. And like I said, we're getting results. That all ends in a good relationship.